If you've ever seen a sports card jump in price in April or May and thought there's no way this card was this cheap a few weeks ago, this video is about that exact window. March is one of the most overlooked months in the sports card market. The Super Bowl is over, the NBA is starting to heat up before the playoffs, and baseball hype is building with opening day right around the corner. Attention starts shifting back into the hobby, but a lot of cards are still sitting at off-season prices. That's where the opportunity usually is. So in this video, I'm going to break down 7 cards worth hoarding in March before the market fully catches on. And if you want the full list you can reference later, I put a free PDF down below in the description. Let's get into it. Number 1, this is not on brand with me, but I think this could be a good potential purchase due to how cheap it is the 2016 Select Christian Pulisic Prism 2016 Christian Pulisic Select PSA 10. And just to show you what this card looks like, because some of you guys may be like, what the hell is he talking about? He is a soccer player for the United States, and with the World Cup right around the corner, I think something like this, being this cheap, this is his true rookie card. He's one of the great American soccer players, the few that are in the world. I think there's a lot of room for this card to go up. It really hasn't went up yet, and obviously the World Cup is being hosted in the United States. And if you can get this card, for like mid $100, 140, 150, 160, I believe there's room for that card to go up. That is card number 1. Card number 2, also a little bit off brand from what I usually talk about, but I do believe there's room for this card to go up as well. This is a 2022 Bowman Chrome Jackson Holiday Auto PSA 10. So if we take a look at this card, this card really hasn't went up much in the offseason, right? It's kind of stayed put because he's injured. He may not start opening day for the Orioles, but as he gets closer to starting and actually playing, I believe his value has room to go up. I actually don't think he's that great of a baseball player. I think he's like a little above average, so it's never something I would hold. But I believe at these prices, due to his last name, because his dad is Matt Holliday, him being on the Orioles, who will probably do well this year, there is room to buy this and wait till he comes back and sell it right before he comes back and actually starts playing to make a quick buck. That's number 2. Number 3 is 2024 Select quarterback cards. So there's Prism, which is the number 1 top tier product, and then there's Select. Select is kind of a second tier product, although it's still very good. And because it's a second tier product, a lot of these cards are actually not graded. And if you're going to be sending cards in for grading and you're going to be waiting 2-3 months for these cards to get back to you, you want to buy stuff that has a high chance of appreciating in value. I think there's a lot of room with 2024 QBs, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, all those guys, JJ McCarthy. There's a lot of gradable cards to buy, grade, and sell. One as an example, I took while searching eBay before this video is a 2024 Bo Nix Blue Disco out of 25, number 221. This card right now, while I'm speaking, sells for about $300, not graded. A PSA 10 is about $800, and this card grades a 10 47% of the time. A card like this you could buy for $300, and hopefully by the time you get it back, it's no longer worth $800 as a PSA 10. It could be worth $900 or $1,000 or even more. And even if the card grades a 9, you can make a little bit. And even if the card grades a 10, you can make a lot of it. So it's kind of risk-free if things go well and their values go up. And I think there's a lot of room for the 2024 guys to go up in value. That's number 3. Number 4, a 2022 Contenders PSA 10 autograph of Malik Willis. I believe Malik Willis, there's a decent chance he might go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Could be wrong. Might go to the Dolphins, might go to the Steelers, maybe the Vikings, hopefully not the Cardinals. But if he does go to the Steelers, or really anywhere, but specifically the Steelers, you will see his value go up. Probably he's not going to have a great year on the Steelers. They really never do anything on offense, but they have a large fan base. They're a nationally recognized team. And because of that, you'll see his value go up. And his Contenders PSA 10 right now is $300. And this is along the same lines of something I talked about a year ago. So if we look at his contenders, Malik Willis, PSA 10. Where are you, Malik Willis? Where are you? There you are. So you could see This card, the last one did $300. The one before it did $200. That's a great price if you can get it for $200, by all means. Now, I don't know how well Malik Willis will play. I have no idea. But if you go back when I was talking about Sam Darnold a year ago, I don't think he's a great quarterback. I really don't. But if you go back a year ago, his contenders PSA 10 was almost about the same price. Now, Malik Willis and Sam Darnold, who knows who's actually better? But the point is, they're going to be a starting quarterback for a solid team, and their value really isn't that high. If you compare them to other quarterbacks, they're really on the bottom tier of things. And I just think there's a lot of room for them to go up in July and August when people recognize, like, wait a second, this guy's a starting quarterback. Maybe he could have a year like Sam Darnold did. And because of that, their prices will increase, especially if Malik Willis goes to the Steelers. So that's number 4. Number 5. So 5, 6, and 7 are similar, but not similar. So number 5, and I categorize the 2024 quarterbacks in different places. Let me explain. So Bo Nix and Caleb Williams, I kind of categorize as safe plays with not a lot of upside, but really not a lot of downside. And buying their Prism PSA 10s, specifically colors, discos, red, blue, orange, all these different colors, I believe is a safe bet to go up 10, 20, 30%. Obviously, no financial guarantees. Who knows what's actually going to happen? But they're definitely going to start for their teams. Their teams are probably going to make the playoffs. They have good coaches. Solid investment, especially if you can get something at a decent price for it to go up in value. I really wouldn't worry about buying those guys. Then number 6, I categorize these guys in similar boats as well. JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix, high risk, high reward. JJ McCarthy is a higher risk than Michael Penix, but JJ McCarthy, I believe, has higher upside than Michael Penix to go up in value before July, before August, before the season actually starts, because their risk is, well, their teams are kind of meh. And then are they actually going to start? So if Kyler Murray goes to the Vikings and he's going to start over JJ McCarthy, his value won't go up and it'll probably just go down. And that's part of the reason why JJ McCarthy cards are so cheap. If you're willing to incur that risk, the reward, once he gets announced a starter, will be pretty good. Now, I think JJ McCarthy will start. And even if he doesn't start, his downside really isn't much because his cards are already cheap. I think it's a pretty solid investment. That's what I like to buy. You can go back to previous videos. You'll see me buying McCarthy and Penix, and that's number 6. Number 7, the best overall investment, I believe, that has a great mix of very safe and also a lot of upside are Jayden Daniels Prism Color PSA 10s, because he's definitely going to start. He's a really good quarterback, and his value is cheap relative to where he was a year ago. It's worth about half. And if you look at Mr. Jayden Daniels, and you pull up Mr. Jayden Daniels, now, to make myself feel better, I will tell you guys that I have been talking about him for the past month and a half or 2 months, and his value is already starting to go up, right? If you just look in the past, let's call it 60 days, at one point, his Silver Prism PSA 10 was in the high 600s, and now the last few sales are 800, 795. So you see where this train is going. I believe if you got in here like I did, and a few people that listen to me, this could be something that could potentially double in value, and it's really safe. God forbid he can get injured, okay? But he's definitely going to start, and there's definitely going to be hype around him just because of how good he was his rookie year. So those are the 7 cards that I believe are solid buys in the month of March. Hopefully this provides you a little bit of value. Don't go all in and close your eyes and just start buying one card of it. Try to diversify, right? I'm talking things here like high risk, low risk. Try to diversify between, riskiness, right? You don't want to be all in, because I could tell you from experience, I once had a lot of money in Zion Williamson in the offseason of, I believe, 2021 or 2022 before he hurt his knee. Those cards plummeted. Your boy lost a lot of money. There's a free PDF down below in the description. Hopefully this helped you out just a little bit. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cool. Sweet. Hopefully that helped you guys out a little bit. I know I threw in a few twists there. Some cards you probably weren't expecting me to talk about. But let's start the caller. So if you want to call in, the phone number is right there, 813-618-2075. If you have questions, don't put them in the chat, because I almost never answer them because the queue is always full. I know, right, Frank? Hella buck, right? All right, we got our first caller. And by the way, you just need to call in once and you'll be in the queue. You don't need to call in 5 times. All right. Just just as a piece of advice. All right, first caller of the week. Let's let it rip.
Hello.
Hey, you have Eric, you're live.
Hey, Eric. This is Kyle calling from Louisiana.
What's up, Kyle? How may I help?
Well, first time caller. Been
Sweet.
listening to you for quite a minute.
Sweet.
Love what you do.
Thanks, man.
Been trying to take your advice and grow a little business here. Got a question. I just came into my first big purchase of a lot yesterday.
Okay.
And most of it is what I call vintage. I'm more of a modern guy, but
Yep.
he had a lot of rookie cards of older players like 70s, 80s, 90s. Ricky Henderson, Jerry Rice, Nolan Ryan, some Griffeys, a bunch of Michael Jordans, and even a LeBron James rookie.
Okay.
Most of it is slabbed already. Beckett and PSA about 50-50. I guess my question to you is, what would be the best thing to do with a lot like that? Is it to hold or to just flip it right away and keep growing it, or what do you recommend?
What's your goal? What do you want sports cards to become? I'd imagine a side income from what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much a side income, just side hustle, I guess you'd say.
And then it seems like since most of the stuff is graded, that makes your life easy. I assume you valued it all out and you're into it for cheap, like 60 or 70%.
Yeah, I purchased a lot for 2,500, and the value I came up with was a little over $4,000. So I'm in it pretty good, I think.
And that value is right. You looked at recent sales on eBay.
Oh yes, yeah. I comped everything about a week. It took me about a week to comp everything out, and we came to a deal yesterday. Yep.
And how many cards are in the total lot?
It's about 35 cards.
Okay. So now, do you want the lazy way to make money, less money, or the working hard way to make even more money, or both?
I'm good at working hard to make more money.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm in this for the long game. I don't really need to flip these right away. So
Yep. So what I would do, a lot like that seems like it's very liquid. I would go to a local card show. I don't know where you live. If you're kind of close to New Orleans, I'd imagine there's a bunch around New Orleans. Doesn't need to be a big one. These are simple cards to move. It seems like, and you'll get straight cash. People will pay you 90 to 100%. That's more than you'll net on eBay. And honestly, it's not really working harder because in a few hours of work, you just sitting there, you should be able to sell most, if not all of it. So that's the working hard, or honestly, that's kind of working easier because it only takes a few hours. You just have to get to a card show, or you can move them on Facebook. You don't have to negotiate and generate a million conversations with people. It's kind of a pain. Or you could be lazy and auction them on eBay. I think the best route would be go set up at a card show. It'll cost you like $100 probably, and you will be able to offload most of, not all of it, especially because you could be at good prices because you're into it for cheap.
yeah, that was my first initial thought, was setting up at a vendor at a local show and just trying to push it out that way. That way I can get the best bang for my buck and not have to deal with other vendors comping me out at, 75, 80% of value. So
Yeah. If you're going to a card show, you really, for the most part, don't want to sell to vendors. It just
yeah,
you're just costing yourself a lot of money, right? So,
right.
yeah, I would set up at a local card show, and then also when you're set up, people are going to come to you with good buys, and you'll be able to take that cash and turn it around immediately and buy stuff for cheap. So, card show would be my answer.
Okay. And nothing really worth holding for, like, I know you do a lot of vintage stuff for retirement purposes. I mean, nothing's that old, but you think LeBron rookie would be a hold or something, or
Nah, it's not because
yeah?
even
Okay.
if I told you, and this is probably not the case, even if his value doubled in 3 years, probably not going to happen, but it could. You'd still rather have that money today and flip, flip, flip. You'd be able to make much more. So you only want
Okay.
to buy vintage and hold it just with extra cash you can't spend because you have too much of it, right? If you have
Hmm.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay, it kind of gets hard to spend that. So instead of it sitting in your bank, you might as well buy a Mickey Mantle rookie and just sit on it, right? At least it's appreciating and not just cash in your bank. So I never, if you've listened to what I say, I would not hold anything long term until you have at least like $100,000 liquid to spend on cards. That's kind of
Hmm.
my rule.
Cool.
Sweet. Did I help?
Awesome. Yep, sound advice.
Sweet.
I think we're on the same page with that, so good deal.
Yeah. Go to the card show, call back in, and let me know how you do. I'm curious.
Sure will, Eric. I appreciate all you do, brother.
All right. Thanks, bro. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. So you guys are doing good. Just got to call once. That's it. Call once, and you're in the queue. So when you start calling 1,500 times, it confuses me. Then I'm like,
Hello,
hey, what's up? You have Eric. You're live.
it's John from Mississippi.
What's up, John from Mississippi? How may I make your day better?
First time caller.
Nice.
I've been watching you for about 2 months. I do have a question.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm having a little trouble finding some cards. I did go with the advanced search like you show on your YouTube, but so I went 99 cents to 200. So when I do Jaden Daniels or JJ McCarthy, I am getting a few cards, but I don't know if that's the maximum amount's too cheap. And when I say a few cards, I have the money to buy 10 cards a week, but it's taken a long time to spend a couple hours to even find 10 cards to buy.
Yeah, so because you're doing it the wrong way, and it's honestly my fault. So when I filter by auctions, so you're talking about right when I go advanced filter, and I'm only looking at auctions.
Yes, sir.
That's the bad way to look at cards. I just do it for two reasons. Number one, to show you guys things quickly. And then number two, because I never check eBay because I have so much shit going on. I'll just bid and forget. I can't maintain a conversation. There are way more cards to buy at better values and in better condition by just offering, looking at, or best offers.
Okay.
Yeah, way more, literally probably 20, 30 times more cards, and you're able to get better deals. You just have to obviously negotiate and go back and forth, which I don't do. So that's why I do it like that. So especially if you're newer, I would not go the auction route.
Okay. I did sign up with Snipe, Easy Snipe, so I have been doing that and won a few cards that way. But so that's been kind of helpful. But.
Yeah, I would I'll share my screen. It might be a little delayed for you, but I'll do it. So what I would do is you want to flip the search around. So let's type in Jaden Daniels 2024. You want to go to newly listed. Do minimum, let's call it, I'd assume you're looking to buy cards to grade, so let's do minimum $50 at least. And then you could filter by not graded. And if you click not graded on the left-hand side, dude, it says there's 8,000 Jaden Daniels cards over $50 in 2024 not graded. It's a lot of cards. So yeah, that's the route to go. You're going to find much better cards. I'm already seeing a few cards looking for 20 seconds. So yeah.
Great. Yes. Okay. Well, that's all I had, man. So it's going pretty good. So I appreciate you.
Sweet, bro. Yeah, keep calling. Call back in and let me know how it's all going. Hopefully that search piece of advice helps you out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, don't do the auction. Don't do what I do. It's bad. It's a lazy way to do things. I just do it because I can't maintain a conversation on eBay. And also I buy graded stuff too, which is different. Hey, you have Eric, you're live.
Yo, what's up, Eric? It's Frank from California.
How
are you?
What's up, Frank? Where are you at in California?
Northern California, Sacramento.
Okay, nice. I was just in Ontario, California last week at the card show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Were you at the Burbank or what were you doing?
Yeah, the West Coast card show. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't make it down there. We got one coming up in Sac. I think the 27th of March. So I'll probably do that one in the Bay Area. But so the reason I'm calling is I have a family up in a small town, and I wanted your advice on something. I don't know if you have a card shop or anything, but I wanted to see what your advice is on brick and mortar in a community that doesn't have a card shop for about an hour and a half in all directions.
Okay. So what town is it?
This is going to be up towards Live Oak, Gridley.
I have no idea where or what that is.
Yeah. So, right. This is going to be a small town. It's going to be like 2 hours north of Sacramento, and there's such a high demand here. And I was like, you know what? When I call in on Monday, I'm going to ask Eric
Yeah.
just to see what his thoughts are.
Yeah,
You know, because I've heard other guys shooting it down, and I'm like, well, you know, let's just. I want to hear it out. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. What do you got to say?
So obviously I've never owned a card shop, but I know a lot of people that do. And number one, just so you understand, card shops make most of their money through selling wax boxes and packs, right?
Okay.
That's number one. That, and being able to get that stuff is key. That's how they make money. Making money from cards is little to none for the most part.
Right. That's not going to be keep your lights on.
Yeah, it could be, but not. These card shops sell packs and boxes. That's how they make money. They upcharge the shit out of people, and they make a lot of money. That's number one. Number two, so I personally don't like to do that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because I view opening up packs and boxes like gambling, and I just don't want to be someone advocating and making my money off of feeding people's gambling addictions, because you are guaranteed to lose money unless you're the luckiest person ever opening up boxes and packs. So it's a funny like gray line, but that's kind of where I lie. And then if you're looking to make like having a card shop, it's only worth it if you like it's your full-time job, right? You need to be in there or have someone in there. So number one, I would only do it if you have access to packs and boxes. I'm not the guy to
like having access to like a rep or having some relationship with like something like that, which I'm found to be a little difficult in the last 2 weeks reaching out. I noticed Tops is they're not accepting certain applications.
Oh yeah, so it's going to be
going
nearly
down this avenue.
Yeah, it's
going to be. Like, oh wow, so there's some roadblocks here.
Yeah, it's going to be nearly impossible. So I'll tell you what I would do. And this now this is a business, right? This is not just flipping cards, side income. So this is what I would do, right? So why? So here's a little thought on business, right? Like Gucci has a very, very strong brand. That's why people pay $500 for their belts, right?
Right.
It costs them $10 to make it, just like anyone else. So you have to ask yourself, what can I do to separate? Okay, well, getting a rep from Tops, good luck, right? So you want to start going hard on organic media. So you could find packs and boxes, but you just have to buy them on eBay. You have to buy them at full comp.
I see.
So what you could do is buy, let's say, I don't know if this is what it sells for, but a Tops Chrome box of basketball. Let's say it goes for $1,000 and there's 10 packs in it, right? You could open up the box, sell the packs individually for like $130 each. So it's like a 20-30% markup, which is kind of overpriced, but that's what card shops do. And then you need to be very strong at building a brand in the area. So then what I would do, and this is where it's getting complicated, but this is a full-time business and you asked for the advice, is I would run ads in the local area. So what you could do when you run Facebook ads is you could target where you want to run the ads. So you could put within a 30-mile radius of the card shop, and you want to collect people's information. So you could run ads and collect people's emails for like $1, $2 and say, hey, enter for a chance for a giveaway. It's this free Tops Chrome box or whatever. Collect thousands of people's emails and email them and text them every day or every other day with, new stuff you have in the store. You have a trade night. And that is the way you'll separate yourself from other card shops. Being savvy at digital marketing.
Community-based. So would you think like hosting like a trade night at our local high school or something to kind of get people together, and like I host it myself, I pay for whatever it costs, free to the public. I just want everybody in so I can then ask questions. Do you think that would be a decent strategy, getting people together?
Yeah, you'd want to, if you're going to host it, you might as well host it at your card shop so people buy shit from you.
Right. But if I don't have a card shop yet and I'm trying to build a community and I want to get community together, and since it's a small town, I can get the town together and be like, hey, what do you guys think about bringing this to this town? Would you guys be interested?
Yeah, so you could that's a good idea. So you could do
Okay.
like almost like a launch. So you have people like literally at your door waiting for you to open it. So you're able to sell stuff immediately to pay back because
Right.
it's going to cost you obviously money for the lease and
Right.
building it. So like I'll give you a good example before I have to go to my next caller. Is
Yeah.
there's a in Tampa where I live, there's a Pilates company called Jet Set Pilates. They're very big. They're like I think they're nationwide, but there's a big nice turf grass area called Armature Works. And what Jet Set Pilates does is like every other Sunday, they send out one of their instructors and host a free class. And there's dozens, if not hundreds, of girls with their mats on the grass doing Pilates, totally free. And what
Mhm.
happens? Well, these girls say, "Oh, wait, I like Pilates. Jet Set Pilates hosted this. Let me go
Yeah.
inquire." That is exactly
Yeah.
what my
That's
girlfriend did.
marketing
Yeah,
right
it's
there.
genius marketing. It's one person feeds hundreds of people for free. It's a nice thing to do, and you get a lot of business. You could do something similar to that with what the
Okay.
Pilates place does over
Good.
here.
Good. Good. So community based.
Yep.
And okay. All right. So I think I got a starting point. I'm going to keep digging into this. I'm going to reach back out to you in the coming days, and I'll let you know. I'll update you on
Yeah,
this.
and then also pairing with the community is also you want to be posting one piece of content per day. So something new you got in the shop, a card you just bought, a card you lost money on, whatever. Post it to TikTok, make a simple 20, 30-second piece of content and do that once a day and don't stop.
Awesome, man. Thanks for the advice, buddy. I'll be in touch with you, and I'll probably call in tomorrow. I think I pulled a skeins last
Nice.
night, so I'll touch base with you, buddy. Thank
Sounds
you very
good, bro.
much.
Sounds
All right,
good. I'll be
have a
here.
good one.
All right, bye
All
bye.
right, later.
I should have been paid for that advice. That was fire advice right there. All right, California again. Calling you back, Callie.
Oh,
Hey, you have Eric. You're live.
what's that?
You have Eric. You're live on the show.
Hey, Eric, how's it going, man?
What's up, man? Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is William Green calling out of Central Florida area.
Oh, Central Florida. It says California for the area code.
Yeah, it's a California number. I travel a lot for work, but currently in Central Florida.
Nice. That's my neck of the woods. We're in Tampa. How may I help?
Yeah, man, I was curious to see, since you are in the buy, sell, and trade side of the industry here,
Yeah.
what impacts you think the Panini licensing is going to have on the upcoming market?
None. To be honest, it's I think it will add a little bit because people like Topps more than Panini. It just has a better name, and I think Topps will produce higher quality products. Panini just kind of started dumping and making anything and everything, and I think Topps will do a better job of that. But whether it's a Topps Chrome Blue or a Prism Blue, it doesn't matter. I think that has just nothing. No, no
Okay.
impact is my question. I think it'll keep growing just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm curious because I'm a local trader. I hit up a lot of local card shows between Daytona, Orlando, and even a monthly one we do out at in Altamont Springs. And a lot of the things I'm hearing lately is that the older licensed Panini cards are going to increase in value, and some of the newer stuff they may put out non-licensed will not have the same value. It won't be as high, and that's just what I'm hearing
Yeah,
from other local traders. But I don't. Just kind of
that
wanted to get your take on it.
that is semi inaccurate. So yeah, I mean that's just inaccurate. So yes, the new stuff that's not licensed will do worse. Correct. Like a Downtown and Kaboom, if they continue to make them without Mendoza's Raider logo on it, it will do worse. Correct. The older stuff like Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix and CJ Stroud and those dudes, just because Topps has the license now doesn't mean CJ Stroud's value is going to go up. CJ Stroud's value will go up if he plays well. If he doesn't play well, it'll go down. Bottom line. So it's like go back to 2003, right? That was Topps. There were Topps Chrome LeBron James cards. And then in like 2012, Panini got the license for basketball. Just because Panini got the license in 2012 didn't automatically mean LeBron James cards went up. It just has nothing to do with anything. Nobody cares.
Sure.
People just care, is the player playing well or not? And if he is playing well, they want the licensed rookie cards, which in this case, or for all new cards, will be tops. So it's just player dependent. It has no effect.
Right on, man. Well, that was really my only question. I appreciate you taking the time to answer.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Call back in. Let me know how everything's going.
Will do.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was Cali. This is New Jersey, 973 area code. Born and raised.
Hey, Eric, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You are live.
How you doing, man? It's Rob from Jersey.
Rob? Rob, right?
Yep, Rob.
What's up, Rob? How can I help?
So I've been following your stuff for a little while now. You do an awesome job posting content, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I do the same thing on the financial planning side, so I just love seeing someone do that, helping so many people. I've been doing it for about a month now. I kind of went nuts, and I think I bought and have now submitted about 35 cards over like the past month.
Mm-hmm.
All quarterbacks, 2024 guys, the Jadens,
Yeah.
Bo Nix, and all that. Now, when do I get to a point where I haven't seen any return on that investment yet, obviously.
Yep.
Right. And now it's like I'm waiting until July, August, possibly September to offload these guys.
Yeah.
I'm in that in-between period where it's like, I mean, I don't know if it doesn't make sense to just keep buying cards up until, I can start turning them over. I wanted to get your thoughts on that first.
Yeah. Multiple thoughts. So number one, okay, there's a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
You could be good right away. The content I put out should help you out a lot. You're not going to be great right away. So the more cards you buy, the faster you buy them, the faster you're going to get good. Even if the great thing about cards, even if you're getting all PSA 9s, okay, you'll lose a little bit of money. It's not like you're losing the whole value of the card. Number two, for sports cards to work correctly, if you want it to turn into a side income, you must be buying cards every week because you want cards coming back to you every week, right? You don't want 1 month you make $5,000, the next month you make nothing, right? You want consistency. So depending on your budget, I would keep buying. It sucks. You have to lay out money, but that's just starting a business. I think people, maybe because of the way I put it, maybe I make it sound easier than it is. Just the reality of business is you gotta invest money up front, right? If you went to anyone else on planet Earth and told them, hey, it's gonna take me 3 months to be profitable with a new business venture,
it's not probably would find a way.
Yeah, exactly. People just they're used to just instant gratification scrolling TikTok all day. They want to make money tomorrow. It's not how it works. And waiting 3 months to turn profitability for a new business is insanely great. For Major League Profits, it took us like 3.5 years to start to make a consistent profit. So that's just
and that makes total sense. I think it's just one of those things where I haven't done proof of concept yet, right? And so it's one of the things is like to turn a couple over and say, oh, okay, this is working the way I expected it to work. And I know there's going to be a learning curve. But that totally makes sense. I feel like just keep going for the next couple months, and then once they start coming back, and that kind of leads me to my next question. If you have another minute,
go.
When I send them into PSA, should I tell them to keep them in the PSA vault and let them just sell them? I mean, I know it's the percentage according to eBay is very similar. If I'm not going to card shows or doing it through Facebook or something, so I'm trying to just think through that.
Yeah, so if you're not willing to do that stuff, then yes. It's just how much time and effort thing you want to put in. So if you want to make the most amount of money possible, going to card shows, doing it on social media is not only going to make you more money because you're not paying fees, but it's going to make you more money because you're actually building a database of getting to know people. And then when you sell cards, exactly. So like the most profitable place to sell a card is to someone who you've done a previous deal with via text message and just sending them a picture and they send you Venmo and that's it. But it takes time to build those things. So that's, if you're looking for minimal effort, which is fine. There's no problem with that. I just let PSA rip it. You will
And buy it now or auction, do you think?
Probably just. I mean, it's just card dependent. It's like
Okay.
it depends on the card and if it's worth. If you're doing things right and it's worth more than when you get it back, then I would go auction. Probably for
Okay.
the most part auction. Just keep in mind it's gonna cut into your profits. Then in the beginning, obviously you could be different, but most people at the beginning they're only getting like 10, 20, 30% of their cards the PSA 10. And if that's the
Right. Right.
case, you are going to lose money in the beginning. Not a lot, but you will lose money. You really
Okay.
don't make money till at least like good consistent money. At least like if 40 to 50% of your cards are getting tens, that's where you
Got
start
it.
to make money. So just keep that in mind. But you want to turn over the money fast. So auctions is the general answer.
That's perfect. I appreciate it. I think I've kind of gotten into the place the last few cards I bought where I'm buying those Jaden Daniels, PSA 10s, and then just hoping for just a little bit of an appreciation. Coming into July and August. Again, I'm kind of trying both. I've seen a ton of your videos, and I know you do that. I don't know if you do that the way that I'm doing it, right? I'm sure you do it way different and better.
You're sending cards in for grading.
So
right?
I'm doing two things. I'm sending cards in for grading, which I've done like I think 30, 35 I sent in, again, quarterbacks. And then I've also then started my past like 3, 4, 5 cards. I'm just buying straight up PSA 10s of those quarterbacks.
So yes. So my rule of thumb is like general numbers here, but I don't start buying I wouldn't start buying cards actually graded until you have at least 20 grand like sitting cash,
Oh, wow, okay.
waiting to spend on cards and having cards at PSA, because grading cards is going to make you more money than anything. Like there's nothing, I can't tell you anything that'll double or triple the value of a card in 2 months. Like just grading is the best thing to do. The downside of grading is there's a learning curve, right? You're going to be stinky in the beginning.
Right.
And then, you'll get better, but you want to get good at that game because there's very little things on planet Earth where you can triple your money in 2 months, right?
For sure.
That's the first thing, and it's cheaper, right? You could buy $100 cards and flip them and grade them. Then once you get your bankroll up to 20 grand, start like at that point, $20,000. It's hard to spend that much money on raw cards. Then it's like, okay, what do I do with this extra cash? Okay, then start buying graded cards and doing what you see me do. And also I do a lot of that because my time is like very, very limited. And it's just easy for me to find graded cards as opposed to going back and forth with people, negotiating and telling them to send me pictures of what the card looks like. It's just very hard for me to do that, which I still do. I just grade less cards and usually higher end cards. Then once you get up to $100,000 in liquid cash ready to spend, that's when you just buy the Babe Ruths and Mickey Mantles and hold them forever. That's kind of my rule of thumb. That's my financial planning advice to you.
Dude, I love it. Like you're saying, the PSA 10s, when you're buying them, the margin's going to be smaller, the profit margin of just taking that PSA 10, say flipping it 2-3 months down the road than grading. But like you said, the margin for error is just less. So, I mean, that totally makes sense, and I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Did I help you out?
Dude, so much, and I'll be calling back again, so I appreciate it. Thanks again, man. Have a great day.
Thanks, Rob. You too. Later.
Take care, buddy.
Bye. I'm giving that good advice today. Let's see. This is Tampa, Florida, in our neck of the woods. Hopefully, it's not my girlfriend calling me. That would be funny.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Chad from Tampa.
Who's calling? Sorry, say it again.
Chad from Tampa.
Chad, what's up, Chad?
No, I killed it this weekend.
Oh, yeah? How did it go?
3x my money on my maze.
Nice. Where did you? When did you buy these? Sorry, say it again.
I went to a show in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
The show kind of sucked, to be honest.
Okay.
The foot traffic to transaction ratio that I'm used to was not there.
Okay.
I was into the maze out of pocket like $130. Offloading both for $6.
Okay, so you bought them before his hype went up.
Yeah, I bought them raw, graded them, tended them, and then I sold them by 85%. It was just shocking to me. Everybody's like, he's like the poison pill right now.
Yeah,
he lost the Super Bowl. I was like,
Yep.
Okay. So I found a buyer at 85%.
Nice.
But remember, I told you about my hit list, the Otani All Aces.
Yep.
Oh, I got 2 of them.
Did you grade these cards?
I'm going to. I bought them because they're going to grade.
Nice.
They're perfect. They are flawless.
What'd you buy them as, and what do they do as 10s?
So this was the issue. I've been buying them at 125 to 150, but they spiked, which I didn't know because they spiked in the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
And the guy I bought them from was a freaking monster firefighter.
Wow.
6'4".
You don't want to get it. You don't want to make that guy a bad offer and get on his wrong side.
So I had my partner and I. We teenagers that are anxious to get into the hobby. We're bringing them under our wing. So
Okay.
We got my partner in my business. He's my buying partner.
Okay.
He did $140,000 this weekend buying.
Wow, good for him.
So what he did is I'm not with him every weekend, so he finds these kids. They're willing and able kids that are smart. He's like, hey, I will pay you to go work the room for me, because he's at his table with a line of people, kind of like you at the show.
Yeah.
There's people lined up to buy for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be known. It makes deals easier.
Yeah. So, Winston is his name. I was like, hey, because I'm the grader in our business. I'm the grader. I was like, hey, Winston, I saw these cards. Let me go show you what I'm looking for, because if you're running around these rooms, I need you to know you need to buy smart, because I'm not buying crap.
Yep.
I buy stuff to grade. And he had 3 of them. One of them was stickered to 180, 2 of them were stickered to 200.
Yep.
And he's like, yep, the one's off centered as well as 180. I was like, okay. I was buying these at 150 2 weeks ago, and then he was mad. If you're gonna lowball me, blah blah blah. I was like, yo. I was like, whoa. Pause.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy's.
I've seen plenty of that. People getting pissed.
Listen, I comped them 2 weeks ago. That's what I'm going on. Show me the recent comps. And he did. So when I was buying them at 125, they were comping for 425 as a 10. Comps as of Saturday jumped up to 650.
Nice. Maybe it's the World Baseball Classic coming.
I mean that's all. That's what I'm betting on. So he had them stickered at 200. I said, well, what's your best on if I want these 2? He said 180 a piece. I'm like, he's done.
Nice.
And so at 625, I'm doing the Eric special. I'm 3x my money. After grading.
That's the goal. Congrats on that. So I guess, is this more of a, you telling me a story? Is there a specific question that goes with this?
It's you should be proud. Your advice is why. I mean, this is 3rd week I've called to give you my success stories because of what you've been teaching me.
I mean, I just you should, once you get it, it's pretty simple. I'm just the one that sits here in front of the camera speaking. You're the one that's actually putting the work. You should be the one that's proud. I know. I'm
proud, but I mentioned the fairgrounds.
Yeah, the reason you should be proud is I know this stuff works. I've been doing it a long time. You're the one that was crazy enough to listen to some rando on the internet and actually take his advice, and then it worked and it made money. So you should be proud of yourself for having the balls to do that, because there's plenty of people that are watching this right now, like super skeptical and scared to like buy a card and think like this shit doesn't work and stuff. So you should be the one that's proud, not me.
So before I met you, like I was chasing like a $50 profit on a PSA 10.
Ugh.
No mas.
Yeah, well, that's you don't want to do that. That's not as fun. But Chad, I do have to hop. I have a huge queue of people, and I want to try to get through, because I feel bad every time I end these things. There's like 7 people waiting to talk. I'm not able to get through.
It's all good.
All right, Chad. Yeah, call back in. Let me know how it all goes. When the fairgrounds is in June?
I think it's in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Tampa? Really?
Yeah, March.
No, you're lying. Really?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Really? I thought that it was in June and December.
I think they're doing another one.
Okay,
I mean, I could double check.
I hope you're right.
I did send my I know you don't follow people back. I did send your brand my social medias if somebody wants to look at it. Your plan is in action on my page.
Sweet. Cool. Tampa Bay Sports. Oh, you're right. Wow.
The collective sports cards.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take a look.
This weekend I'm not known on important like Tampa last weekend. I did 46 in-person evaluations. Out there, people were amazed at what I was doing. I did 26. And
Nice.
Where I'm not known. So 26 guys paid me $10 a piece to look at their cards and give them my opinion if they're going to grade or not.
Sick. Well, good for you, Chad. Let me hop. I gotta take the next one. But now I was gonna go to Chicago that weekend, but now I have to think about it because now there's a big card show in Tampa. I might just go here.
Hey, just take a peek. And my partner, there's no budget with what we're doing. The quality of what we provide, doing what you're doing, value added.
Sweet. Cool.
Return on investment is our business model.
Sounds good, Chad. I appreciate it.
All
right. Bye-bye. I think I saw someone in the chat. Someone said hang up. I'm not going to hang up. I don't do that. When can we buy your dating advice again? It was never for sale, but the dating advice simmered because I have a girlfriend now. So I don't talk about it as much. I don't think she'd be pissed. What's up, Brian? Brian Brennan in the chat is someone I've known for a long time who I've done a lot of deals with. He's got a lot of high-end shit. What's up, Brian? Nice to see you. Is this the Dave Ramsey show? No, but this was inspired from the Dave Ramsey show when we started it about 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago. But that's the goal, to get there one day. Let's see. Glendale, California. You're up.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You have Eric. You're live.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Caesar from Los Angeles.
You said Caesar?
Yes, sir.
What's up, bro?
Hey, man. So, first off, I appreciate the content, man. It's something good for new people starting out, just like me.
Thank
Kinda
you.
Giving me a little blueprint on how to go about it.
That's the goal.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. So I was on, like the way I'm buying my first cars are like Whatnot. Unfortunately, I did do some of the breaking stuff, but I realized really quick that it's not profitable.
Yep.
So I got a couple of CGC 10 Shohei Ohtani Elite Flag Edition cards.
Okay.
And I was looking them up trying to see, because I know some people crack them out the case, and I sent them to PSA, but there's no one's done that. It doesn't look like online. Is there a reason for that?
Let me look up the card because I have no idea what you're talking about. So let me see.
Oh, bro. Oh,
yeah. Okay. It's Ohtani. What is it? Say it again.
So it is a Ohtani Leaf Flag Edition.
Leaf.
Yeah.
Flag. What year is it from?
Damn it! I should have taken a picture of it, bro.
Is it 2018?
I don't have that. But there was a bunch of them that everyone's selling. It just seems to not be a PSA graded card. Would you think though it's because it's a Leaf product, or
possibly? I see PSA. If it's the card I'm thinking about, or that I think is on here, it sells for like $80 as a PSA 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because when I looked it up, man, I didn't see any cards in PSA. So, in a scenario like that, though, would you think like it'd be worth crack to send to PSA if it looks good?
Card like that, no, because you probably paid like $30-$40 for it, and then you're gonna spend $25 to get it graded, and then as a 10, it's $80. So you're barely making any money if you get lucky. So it is yes. With certain cards, it's a good strategy, but with that one, no. Usually the cards have to be a little bit more expensive, so you could actually make a profit.
For sure. Once it gets to like 2-3 times your money or something like that, right?
Yeah, at least like I mean, you've heard me say before, at least 2xing your money after all fees and what you paid for the card. That's
Yeah.
it. That's at least what I try to do. So that card, no, would be my
Yeah,
answer.
for sure. Okay. And then is there certain situations or certain cards that you would send to a different company other than PSA? Like what circumstance would that be for you personally?
Yeah. So so the general answer is no, because a
Okay.
PSA 10 is worth more than everything else essentially. The only time I would do it, so there's a grading company called Tag that's very good for PSA, or that's very good for Pokemon. But the only time I would do it is like sending cards to SGC or maybe Beckett, where it's worth less than a PSA 10, but you get your cards back a lot faster. Is if my budget was limited. So if I had $500 to spend and I wanted to grade cards, well, what am I going to do? Buy a few cards and sit on my hands for 3 months because PSA is going to take a while to get back. I'd rather send the cards to SGC. It would be a few weeks door to door. Even though I'm making less money, I get to turn over my money faster to build my bankroll up. Then I have a few $1,000s, and then I can start sending cards to PSA because you want to at least you want to keep it consistent, right? You want to be buying, like I say, 5 cards a week at least.
Yeah.
And if you're sending cards to PSA and it's going to take 2 months for for the cards to get back to you, you need to have 2 months worth of spending money. So if my budget doesn't allow me to do that, then I would send cards to SGC or Beckett, depending on the types of cards, or Tag, which is only really for Pokemon. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure it does. One last question, man. I know you got other calls to get to. So I recently saw an Aaron Donald card. Fuck, man, I just had it pulled up. It was a PSA 10, and it was for it was like a silver prism. It looked like a base card, but someone was selling it. I'm trying to pull it up right here so I could tell you the exact year and stuff. Unfortunately,
my advice to you is probably not buy an Aaron Donald, right? The former Rams player.
Yeah, the lineman.
Yeah, probably there's just not a lot of room or a huge market to make money.
Even with him possibly hitting the Hall of Fame, that doesn't spike it up.
Nah, because what happens when someone hits the Hall of Fame is everyone tries to sell their cards at once, and the supply goes up and the demand goes down.
Got you. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's all I needed to know. The guy was priced a little bit higher than comps.
Yeah, I'd stay away.
Okay, got you, man. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. I'll definitely be calling in when I got some other questions. I appreciate you, though.
All right, Caesar.
All right, man.
All right,
Later.
bye. I saw something crazy in the chat I have to address. I reviewed your program. Why do you all not pay for the grading? The program seems high, and I was all in until I have to pay for the grading. We cannot pay for grading. Students send in, think about this, right? The average cost to get a card graded, for the most part, it's like $25 at the moment, the lower end tier. We have students that send in 50, 100 cards, 200 cards per month. 100 cards times $25 a card. We cannot spend, whatever that is, $2,500 a month on a student to pay for their grading. A PSA is a totally separate entity than what we do. So, that's that would just be monetarily impossible. So we cannot pay for grading, and don't get it twisted that we do. We would never pay for grading. We get you a tiny discount off of grading, but paying for grading, that's on you. Just want to address that. Let's see here. That was, who did I just call? Glendale, California. And this is Floral Park, New York. I thought Floral Park was in New Jersey. Unless there's two. There's two. Hey, what's up, man? You have Eric. You're live.
What's up? So basically, I bought a 2023 Prism.
Okay.
Victor Wembanyama Blue Sparkle.
Sure.
Number to 144 PSA 9. It's about the last comp in a 9 was like $2,300, and the last raw was $2,300, right?
Yeah.
The card looks super clean. What do you think about maybe cracking it out and sending it to Beckett to try to get the 9.5?
And it's a PSA 9?
Yeah.
And, well, let me look for you. I'll look real quick. It's a 2023 Prism Blue Sparkle.
Yeah, Wembanyama. The only Beckett 9.5 sale was $2,800, but that was a while ago when Card Ladder has it at like $4K.
When did it? When did it sell?
I think it was in like August, or it was a while ago.
So Wembanyama's value's up since then, obviously.
Yeah,
So I see sorry, what'd you pay for it again?
2K cash.
2K cash.
It's like 90%.
Yeah. So a PSA 10 just sold for 4,400. So a Beckett 9.5 would be like 3,000. Yeah.
Sounds about right. And like the raw lot just did 24.50, right? So I'm saying it's like not much to lose if I crack it, because let's say it's a Beckett 9, right? I still say I crack it and I just use the raw sale, and I still
a Beckett 9 you'll probably lose money. I personally
because a raw just did 24.50.
Yeah, and then I see the last raw did 21.50.
What was the date of it? I saw Card Ladder 24.50 February 4th.
Okay, so there's one after that. The last one I see is January 26th. So would I crack it? It just depends on if the card really looks that clean and it's well centered, and
it's pretty well centered.
And that corner on the back is not screwed up. Yeah, like that's the big thing. If the corners look crispy, I would send it in. If not, if I thought just a little bit it wasn't, just even a little hesitation, I wouldn't do it. So it's just I just need to look at the card.
I thought it looked pretty clean. And then one more question.
Yeah.
I've been like flipping cards for a while. I made a good amount of money, right? But then I just started grading.
Okay.
Like a while ago, I bought 20 cards. I made a mistake in like September at the Philly show. I made a mistake and bought too much Jaden Daniels. Then I sent 20 cards to PSA. They were all clean, and they only got 2 10s, right?
Wait, so why was that? Jaden Daniels' value is up since then.
Since September?
Since September. Oh, September. Oh, yeah, he's down since then. Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. So I'm saying, like I just got 2 10s out of like 20 cards. So, like, what do you think I should be doing differently grading next time?
Well, one, don't buy football when the season starts. That's usually a bad idea because most guys go down. And then number 2.
I get it. I get it. But like, I sent 20 cards, only 2 10s. So like, and all the cards I looked over were super clean.
What was it? Mostly Prism?
Yeah, it was Prism. It was a mix of sets. It was Prism, Optic, Select.
So I don't want to sound mean here, but the just honest truth is, you just have to get better at evaluating cards. That's just really what it comes down to. I'd imagine most of those cards.
Do you think I should send the cards in to get cleaned? Because my friend sent like 80 cards to some card cleaner before we graded them, and he got like 55 10s.
Yeah, honestly, I would learn how to do it myself. There's so many YouTube videos out there. There's this thing called like Kurt's Card Care. It's like $20-$30, probably help you out a lot. I would probably do it myself, learn how to do it myself.
Hey, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Direct. Why is it, I don't mind. I don't care. I'm here to help. But the younger they are, the more direct. They're just like, I bought this card. How much is it worth? It's funny. So that was Floral Park, New York. And this is New Hampshire. N-E? Nebraska. Not New Hampshire, Nebraska. And New Hampshire would be NH.
Yo, what's up, Eric?
Hey, what's up? You have Eric, you're live.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Who's calling? I can't recognize the voice.
Oh, man, come on, bro. We talked before, man. This is Ariel from Midland, Texas, brother.
What's up, dude? Yeah, I'm so bad at voice recognition. My apologies.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. So I got a couple of questions for you. Number one, so about a week ago, I was scrolling through some Facebook groups, and there was an anonymous poster, right, from one of these groups that he said, I work for PSA, and I just want to let everybody know, if you're sending in with a bulk submission at like the $20, $25 mark, right, we're going to slap you with a 9, so take care, right? That's my first one.
Yeah, that's probably not true.
Probably not true.
There's no way PSA would tell one of their employees to make an anonymous post in a Facebook group. Sounds wrong.
Well, I mean, maybe the grader went rogue or something, and he's kind of like doing it to just go ahead and like mess with people, I guess. But who knows, right? That's my first one, right? And second of all, I don't know if you went ahead and saw what Fanatics Collect went ahead and did now about when, like, for the breakers, they're trying to get away from scalpers and breakers, and what they're doing now is they're removing the cellophane from the packaging before they take the product. Right? What do you think about that?
Wait, so they're removing? Say it again. What are they removing?
So the post on Fanatics Collectibles says the following: we're committed to getting products into the hands of true collectors to help ensure fair access to selected products and for sales of Premier League logo fractors. This weekend we will be removing the protective shrink wrap at the time of purchase. So meaning they're removing that to get it away from breakers and give like real collectors a fair chance of being able to actually hit something good, right? What's your opinion about that?
What's my opinion? So number one, my opinion is as nice as Fanatics is coming off, they're doing that so they make more money. You're right, because now they don't have to, if you're cutting out the middleman, which is a breaker, right? The breaker is just a middleman between Fanatics and the end consumer that's opening up the product. That's why Fanatics is doing it, number one. Number two, overall for the hobby, even though Fanatics will make more money, which is great for them, I do think it's better, right? Because breakers really just, a lot of them do sketchy things. Obviously not all of them, but a lot of them, and they do overcharge. So things will be cheaper. Taking out a middleman, now things are cheaper for the end consumer, which is the person opening up the pack. So overall, I think it's good for the hobby, is my opinion.
So in reference to your comment about overcharging, don't you think that everybody that is in the hobby, that like I heard you with earlier on the comment about like card shops and stuff, they usually put into all their product 20 to 30% over like what they pay for, right? And you're absolutely right, because I was doing the math just yesterday. I was at home watching a pretty popular Whatnot streamer, and I was pricing out his stuff on what he has in his store on the Whatnot page, as opposed to what you can get it for on like David Adams or Blowout Cards or something like that, right? And it is 30% over what you get it for. You were spot on the money when it comes to that upcharge of what they're charging. Would it be a good idea to get into breaking now in 2026?
No, because of what you just said. Fanatics is making it harder now to get product. So
but you don't necessarily need to just buy it from Fanatics, though, right? I mean, you could always
who knows? If you're saying once it gets out of the hands of Fanatics, they're going to be taking off that shrink wrap. Now people might be too skeptical to buy it from anybody, because now you could easily open it and close it, if what I'm gathering is true. So it's just, all businesses work. It's just a matter of staying consistent and making them work. Like, I'm not a fan of getting into breaking because I don't like to promote gambling and trying to get, so like that's just my viewpoint on it. But it's profitable, but you just need to start to build a brand and start small and probably break even or lose a little bit of money, and it takes time. So I'm more of a fan of buying singles of cards. It's faster money. You don't need to build a big brand. You don't need to be live, and you could do it from the beach in Aruba if you want. So that's my opinion.
I've been taking your motto into account on my recent purchases. I've been buying a lot of like soccer gold cards numbered to 10, really good players and stuff like that, and and sending them off to grade. But it's just with PSA, it's either a hit or miss. It doesn't matter whether you put that card under a microscope or you find nothing wrong with the card or use Chris Card Care or whatever it is that you do. I've had pretty bad luck when it comes to sending cards to you graded, but you're right though.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that make full-time incomes off of it. I would just be blunt and say it's just a lack of really knowing what to look for. And you're right to a degree, because grading is it's an educational guess. There could be cards that are perfect, that get a 9, cards that look kind of shitty, that get a 10. It's kind of like playing poker. It's you could do all the right things and still lose, but they're like, if you're good, you will be good. I've plenty of dozens and dozens and dozens of students that grade 70, 80, 90% clips at PSA. It is a skill. Take my word for it.
No, I completely agree with you. I mean, I'm on it when it comes to, like the topics that you talk about, the corners, the edges, the surface, the centering.
Yeah.
Those are the four major key components. And when you send cards to like PSA, they look at more of the corners and the edges, but when you send it to Beckett, they look more for the centering of the card, and they don't really give a crap about anything else. You know what I mean? So I understand exactly what you're talking about, but you know, it's just like you're paying for the opinion of another human being. And in my personal experience, I mean, I have a YouTube channel, The Big Card Show, that you can find it on YouTube. So sorry, shameless plug there.
It's okay.
You know, and I've done interviews with other people in the hobby that they have shown me cards that have some really noticeable edge wear defect and soft corners and stuff like that, and they come back as a 10. How do you explain that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's just bro. It's an educational guess. The most amount of money I made on a card 2 years ago, the card had pretty bad edge chipping. It was an Ohtani Bowman Chrome where I made 20 grand on it because I got a 10. It's an educational guess. Yeah, it is humans, and humans have bad days, and they go fast. They make mistakes. You're right. That's just part of the game.
And so, you know, along with that said, you know, your information about GemRate, I've been following you for a while now. I'm going on GemRate, and they went ahead and they added now to the GemRate list of grading companies Tag. What do you think about AI as far as not overpassing PSA? Because I mean, come on, they're buying out companies left and right now, right? So as far as like the AI implementation, do you think that PSA will eventually have some sort of like AI integration with their grading service in the near future?
Well,
or if not, they're already doing it already, maybe?
I mean, if they wanted to do it, it'd be done already. They have plenty of money. I don't think so, because what will happen if AI becomes the standard and AI is being used to grade cards, what will happen is people will develop an AI that knows exactly how PSA's AI thinks, and you'll be able to know if a card's going to get a 10 or a 9 automatically before sending it in, which kills everything about grading. So because of that, I believe no. Could be wrong, but that's just my thought process.
I get you. Yeah, I mean, I have my doubts and my, you know, there's pros and cons to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the way I compare it to it is the like in the car business, like you're gonna pay a premium price for a Rolls Royce even if it's hand built, and there's still gonna be problems with it. But on the other hand, you have Ford pumping out millions of vehicles, and a very low percentage of cars are coming back as lemons or with defects, and they're all being built by robots. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's two sides to the coin. Well, technically there's three sides to a coin, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, bro. You're completely right. But I do have to hop on the queue because we have a crap ton of callers.
Massive amount of callers. All right, buddy. Thanks for your time, man. Thanks for the info.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks for calling.
Later, bud.
Bye. Because I don't know if I can get through all these. Yeah, I can't. And someone asked why would Fanatics cut off breaking? Because local card shops do regular business. Because think about it, right? If you have a box of cards that sells for $500, and then you're giving it to a card shop who's then who's then like selling for $750, Fanatics is like, well, we can make it cheaper for the end consumer, so more people buy, and we get to make more. So now we're just going to charge the end consumer $650. That's why they want to cutting out the middleman. You make more money, right? That's why the same principles, right? Like Amazon, why don't they use UPS or USPS to ship? And why do they have their own facilities and total shipping networks and planes? Because once you cut out the middleman, all the profits for you, and that's why, right? So I would honestly, bro, if I own Fanatics, I would do the same thing. I'm able to make the collector's life easier, and I make more money. It's a win-win. So that's just my viewpoint on it. Obviously, that probably is going to get a lot of hate. But guys, I do have to head off. I apologize. There's like 10 or 15 of you guys in the queue, but I will be back mañana. So be sure to call early because I do have a busy day ahead of me. We do this thing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Just call in once, and then you'll be in the queue on the handy-dandy phone. Like, comment, subscribe.